so last meeting, what did we talk about? What was the main issue? Everyone remember? Non-value or value added, okay? And so the conclusion was, Alicia, you were about 25% non-value added. So I'm just curious, now that we had that discussion, are you still in agreement with that? Is that number still what it is?
Is that value added?
That's value added.
That's value added. You got 25% value added, you think, of your day.
If I spend my day building, then yeah.
Okay, good.
If not, no.
Okay, so do you think this is a good average based on, because you do a lot of different
I would
things.
say average,
You still feel comfortable with that?
probably 20.
20, okay? We'll just change it just because I want you to just think about it, okay?
And we're talking about value to the end user.
Right.
Yeah, we're talking about value to the end user, so it's not you just, taking a box, the customer could care less. You know, the value is when you change it. I mean, if the customer had it the perfect way, they would say, I need an AccuScribe, and boom, it would appear in their hand, right? That'd be the straightest way. You agree?
Yes.
I know, Colby, you don't necessarily.
That's simple.
Well, it is impossible, you're right. But there is a degree which we can eliminate all those wastes and get much closer to that. For instance, what Amazon's done with the little, if you want to order soap, they put a little button there, and you don't even have to think about going and turning in a Kanban card. You don't have to think about going to a computer and ordering. You just touch the button, it automatically signals them, and it's there. So they've eliminated all that waste.
They eliminated the waste of you hand typing in and
Carrying the
searching
Kanban.
Searching for it, yeah.
And there's I think it's Amazon too with grocery.
No, when you put your credit card in, Amazon already keeps
Pay
it.
for
Yeah.
the ability to do that.
No, you don't. No, they'll give it to you. They want you to buy from them. So they found a way to lean out the process. So you just walk up and say, oh, I'm out of Windex. Boom, sorry. Boom, push the button, and it's there. So they've taken that whole thing, exactly what I'm trying to say. Your customer thinks it, it's in your hands.
It's like the grocery thing where you put in a list of all the things you think you should always have in your fridge, and when you take items out, you scan them, and when you you got free milks delivered, when you scan the last milk, it auto orders milk to get delivered to your house.
Okay? Another way that it happens, just so you know that there is real examples of this, is Walmart. So when you go buy this bottle at Walmart, the second they scan it at the register, it reorders it from the vendor. It doesn't even go into their system where I got to reorder this in 2 weeks when it gets to that level. That is the system. They've eliminated all the ways of everyone touching it and handling it. It's that precise.
One distributor brings everything, or?
Well, no,
They
that's
send them
distributor.
with that distributor, and when a certain number of them hit, every day it hits there, and when it gets to that number, they
Just
step
every
right
item
in.
is ordered or whatever, when it gets sent over?
Here's the bottom line. I make this bottle right here, right? The second someone buys it in Walmart in Georgetown or in Bellingham or in Seattle, the second it comes up on my screen and it says, oh my gosh, the demand for bottles is going up. At FastCap, we're making these bottles. Oh, we need to start making bottles. There isn't like I'm waiting for a PO. There's no waiting for a PO. There's no waiting for anything. It's just the moment the customer buys it, it's replenished. You not see what I'm saying?
Exactly what you mean.
So they've eliminated all that waste. All that waste of all those people handling, processing, people sitting, doing spreadsheets, calling vendors. It's gone. It's literally that mental thing I told you. I want an AccuScribe, boom, it's in my hand. Pretty close. Okay? So, Kathy, where are you? Still 15? Sure. Okay, still 15. Lucas, 25?
Oh no, get rid of the 5 in there.
Okay, so you're coming down a little. Okay, Zach, where are you?
No, it's like 2, not 5.
Oh, 2%. Oh, I hate to say it, Lucas, you're making me happy now. 2%. Okay, 5. So Zach, you were 30. You were 30, and you're saying you're 5 now?
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
And I'm not picking on you people that don't come down. Come on, you can do the meeting. It's okay. So we're doing a leadership meeting right now, and we're filming it. So you can probably come down here, Rick, so you're not in front of the camera, because we're filming it for Ashley. Come on. Just stand right next to me. Okay, so Ashley wanted to see our meeting go, so we're just filming it. Okay, so Zach, you're at 5% now. And what made you change?
I was really thinking about what we were talking about, value, non-value added, what I really do, just see how much grab I don't, the customer doesn't care about.
So I went to get the camera right now. I went and grabbed the camera, started walking over here to get the tripod, opened up the battery was bad, got the tripod, walked back to my desk, got another battery, came back over here. I mean, all of it was non-value. It was like, God, it's a waste. It's unbelievable how much waste there is. right? You just don't really see it until you really start knowing what's the value and what's the non-value. The only value was when the camera was rolling with the record thing on. All the other gyrations that I went through was non-value. You guys see that? Okay, Dennis, where are you?
0. I didn't do anything today.
That's a good answer, actually, because boy, you realize. Okay, well.
Last week I built some magnets.
Welcome to management. Welcome to management. Right? Sometimes at the end of the day, when you guys leave, Leanne and I stay here. That's when I get everything done.
Me too.
It's just so difficult sometimes. Austin, where are you?
5.5%.
What?
5%.
And you really mean that? Really?
Well,
Okay, guys, hold on, quiet.
If you think about it, the only, unless, I mean, the customer's willing to pay for having us inventory, really, like, they're not willing to have, I'm supposed to do, like, most of you.
Good job.
Everything I'm supposed to
You're
do.
really zeros then,
I'm really
Austin. They
zero.
don't even want to pay for anything about
They don't,
it.
So your goal is to get our inventory levels down, right? Your goal is to get it down so we're managing it so perfectly.
Right.
But they don't want to pay because they count
But
it,
they don't,
put it
they
away.
expect it to happen regardless, so they don't want to do
Okay, so now that you say that, okay, so here you guys, listen up. So the reason why we're doing this is we just want to sharpen your focus on
Value.
or non-value. That's all we're trying to do. The purpose of last week's meeting was to do what?
Focus on known value.
To sharpen your focus. The purpose of last week's meeting was to sharpen your focus. Okay? Go ahead.
So I'm pretty much zero.
Pretty much 0. You know what?
Zero.
It's perfectly fine. Brady.
Can I do points one time?
It's okay. 0.1.
Brady, you really are more. You do deal with the customer.
Wow. That's cool. Okay, Colby, what do you think? Still 100%? We'll work on it. We'll get you there eventually. Don't worry. Yeah. What do you think?
I'm only 5% because of the time that I help customers on the phone and type things to ship to them. The rest of my job, nothing helps the customer.
Okay, so it's very small.
It's small.
I mean, when you're directly servicing the customer, now, this is a big picture for you guys to think about. So remember I said last week with Amazon, Jeff, how do you say it? Bezos, said that if the customer calls Amazon, is that good or bad?
It's
Not bad.
It's bad. It's bad, right? They screwed up. If the customer calls them, then somewhere along the line, their process was not clear enough that the customer got the answer. So they're not adding value at all.
It's actually a miracle because it's very hard to find the number.
But the nice thing is you don't have to call very much. Would you agree? I mean, I use Amazon every day.
They're rated #1 customer
We
service.
can't call them. We try. We can't.
So even though Leanne said, well, when she's helping the customer, I mean, in the perfect world, to be honest with you guys, the customer should never call here.
But sometimes it's for a custom thing they need.
I got it, but you know what? If Bob Taylor, let's go to the custom guitar program. Bob Taylor sets up a custom guitar program. You go and order a custom Ford car. You can put all the color, the wheels, rims, it builds the whole car right in front of you. There's no reason to talk
But
to
a Taylor
anybody.
Swift call when she wanted her name or.
I think
There's no
the
exception.
perfect analogy is that I've never had to call Google. Every time I have a question, they're able to find it.
Okay? So I want you to think that way.
Yes.
If we want to compete, we've talked about this, we're competing with the Chinese, $2 an hour. I'm telling you, we've got to think this way every second. Okay, so, and Paul, 3%. And when I think I have to be honest with myself, it would be less than that, but it's somewhere in a very small number. I'll put 1%. I'll just put 1% right there. Okay? It's very small. So value, non-value. So here's today's lesson that I want you to think about. Something that has been so profound that has changed everything I think about lean. When I was in Minneapolis, I learned about the concept of variation, which I did not understand. And so I interviewed a guy, and we're going to watch it in the morning meeting, who knew Dr. Deming. And so what I learned, and I didn't know, is that really what Dr. Deming was doing was looking for the variation. Anytime in manufacturing something changed, there was waste. So you're doing the glue box, right? All of a sudden I can't tuck that lip in. Is that a variation? Mm-hmm. Right. So what I did is Lucas and I made a jig that folded the paper every time exactly the same way. And then when I went to tuck it in, it tucked it every time consistently. Did I remove the variation? So I'm going to simplify lean at a level I've never even thought about
Did you
before.
add another variation?
Go ahead, tell me.
By making the jig, is that another?
That's not a variation, that's a system. So
To get rid of
Deming
it.
says, here's what we want to do. We want to have a profound knowledge of systems. So I created the paper folder with Lucas and I, that when you lay the paper on there, it creases it exactly at the end perfectly. So that every time I put it on the glue bot, there's no variation. So I improved a system to remove variation. So our enemy, today's lesson, today's topic, last week it was what?
Value.
Non-value, okay? Today's lesson is, I don't know how to spell it, but I'll try it.
V-A-R-I-A-T-I-O-N.
Variation.
Look, Paul, it's an upside down V you're thinking.
Oh, yeah. Okay, there you go. Okay, so variation. So what I want you guys to be looking at, you're looking for value and non-value, and saying, hey, you know what, how can I change it? Just 0.5%, maybe 1% every week. You'll find that if you eliminate
Variation.
Good.
And making systems so people don't have to worry about the problems.
And eliminate.
When you find a
Variation.
problem, make a system that gets rid of it.
And make sure everyone knows how to do that.
We're trying to bring more
Value.
value by
Eliminating variation.
done. That's what we need to work on. Okay? It all goes together. It's all beautifully woven.
So system processing kind of be the same kind of thing? or-
System and process is the same, right? A system is a process, and we want to have refined systems, refined processes, standardized work to remove what, Zach?
Variation.
Variations. The minute a variation occurs in anything you do, I was holding that thing around. I was like, I was putting the magnet on, and I was having to kind of fumble with the magnet. One time I did fumble with it, the other time I didn't. You're going to see the video. I'm going to play it in the morning meeting. What I was doing was removing the variation. Okay? I don't think we need to talk about anything else. Anything you guys want to bring up? Any issues you want to talk about?
I haven't had a couple people ask about reviews.
Okay, I think it's time too. I think it's absolutely time. I'm feeling it. It's funny that you would say that. I'm feeling that it's time to do it. Okay? Anything else? Let's go around. Kathy, any thoughts about, let's just talk about real general, go around your department. Again, let's look at it 3 months ago and today. Is it running better than it was 3 months ago?
When I have everybody hear you that.
Okay, so your big problem is the variation of staff, right?
Definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so now we've got to think about how we're going to deal with that. We're going to overstaff, so we always anticipate there's going to be 3 or 4 people. I'm not quite sure, but that is the Achilles heel, and that is
I
what the
tried to
problem
deal
is.
with it before it happened by saying I would pay for people to get the flu shot and nobody would do it. And if they hadn't, I would have not had all this money.
I got it. I mean, I don't even mess with it. I mean, I do. And it probably helps too.
We've had 4 or 5 people for months.
What?
We've had 4 or 5 sick people for months now.
I know, it's terrible.
It just
And it's hard,
keeps
it's
changing
hard.
who it is.
You know,
I know,
because
it's
you're
not
there
good.
till 5 or 5:30 and, I don't know, I'm tired.
I
Yeah,
believe it.
yeah.
I believe it. I believe
So,
it.
and the shippers, like yesterday when I was working with Heather, and at the end of the day, I'm trying to teach her invoicing, it just was too much, because there was so much coming at her, so I just pulled her for a little bit.
Well, that also
But-
gets rid of variation if you have enough trained people
Yeah.
that they can
Right,
move around.
and I'm working at it, yeah.
Okay, so the number one issue for you right now, real quick, is, what's the number one issue for Kathy? Wave a magic wand.
Having enough people trained for shipping,
Having enough people trained for shipping.
and being able to have them versus just.
Yeah, right, okay?
Yeah.
Right, well,
That's-
we'll keep working on that.
Because
but I think-
yesterday morning, we had awesome flow. There were a lot of people there, it seemed, and it flowed really nicely. And I don't know what happened after that, after
Okay.
lunch. It seems after lunch, that's when it just all goes. We talked about that before too.
Well, then, there you go. Well, then maybe we need to find out what's happening. So
You just want to nap
okay,
after?
as thoughtful leaders, this is what I'm expecting of you. Just start asking the question. If the depreciation occurs after lunch, what's the question?
Why?
Why?
Right.
Then how do we change something to be more consistent and less?
Variation.
It's all really simple. And you guys all have the brain power to figure it out. Alicia, what's your biggest issue?
Pricing is Kathy, not enough people sometimes during the day later when we might need them, and we get a bunch of bonbons in.
And where do those people go? They're shipping, picking, packing, right?
Yep.
Okay, and I'm gonna suggest, I'm gonna tell you how to solve both of your problems right now. If Lucas and the three of you get together and continually refine processes so there's less variation, the same people you have now will be able to accomplish a lot more. I'm convinced of it. I know.
I'm on board with you with
Okay,
that,
good.
right?
All right. So I think that's the first thing you want to do is get your systems in place and remove variation. And at the point you feel like you've hammered that down to the last wit's end, we'll hire more people.
Okay.
Okay? Leanne, what's your biggest issue?
Training, better customer service.
Okay? Because you spend a lot of time doing rework.
I spend a lot of time trying to backtrack something that they didn't ask questions in the first place.
Right. Okay, and I think we had some success on that today. Colby, what's your biggest issue?
It's not really mine. Lucas's is the Kanbans. I've been trying to help him with that. I think that he shouldn't have any on his board at 11 o'clock.
What do you think, Lucas?
I think that more people should stay from picking and packing until 11 so that the goal is at 11 o'clock. But there's no Kanbans and then 2 people can manage the couple of
The inbound coming in, what's your type?
I think that would be sweet, but not necessarily completely accomplishable every day. I do come up with a list every day of, of the ones I have, which are most important. And I know some, we have like 3 days to get them done because we just don't move that fast out of grocery. And so there's certain ones that we try to get done. And I think we've been doing a really good job of that.
What you said is, Colby's right in that you like the idea, but you don't think it's accomplishable.
I guess no, anything's accomplishable, so I don't want to say that, no, but I don't know that it's worth the resources it takes to accomplish it every day necessarily, depending on what.
Because there's not the benefit. So what do you see as the benefit of that, Colby?
I see that Kathy's saying that it gets faster for her after lunch, like for more orders, and that there's less people or more people picking than you think, Kathy? You think more people are helping you after lunch or less?
Not till around 2 or 3, that's when we get, seems like we got an influx of orders and.
I would say that because I don't think it's that big of a deal. I don't think there's enough to back it up.
Okay. Okay.
They're gonna be typing in 4 hours, and then all those orders are gonna be picked up really tight.
Well, I think
I can't do this. I'm dyslexic.
that's not what I'm saying. And my ultimate goal would be for an order to be typed and then being in someone's hand and picking. It shouldn't even go onto a board. But that's what I think.
Okay.
And it should be
That is true.
It's the
The
same.
board isn't adding
The
any
board is
value.
backwards. The board is
That's
backwards.
right.
That would be
And
awesome.
piles of things just
When we
don't
get a
happen
coupon,
there.
Wouldn't it be awesome, think about this, if there's all these typers and the minute one is typed, someone's finished shipping it and they come pick up another one. And so it's a constant flow of the picker gets the order from the person that types it, and goes out, picks it, ships it, and they come back and then they get another one. So that it never stacks up on that board out there.
That'd be awesome. Okay, what's your biggest issue?
If I had once, maybe flow once in a while, how the carriers come out and I receive them. But usually it's 90% of the time I can do it fine. I just ran 16 pallets and it's really a good flow throughout the whole day. But once in a while, I can just get big bogged down, just trying to do everything.
So then the question for you is, why does the big bog down happen?
Because we don't want much orders in all the time, right? And influx of orders and everything.
Right.
And remember that day that we did 118? What did we do? When the top on that happened, what did we
2
do?
tables back.
Yeah.
We pulled the second person to help palletize till the
No, we
bottleneck
can talk
went
about
away.
I think your goal is knowing that we can't control how the customer's gonna order, so you need to put in systems or processes
We talked about
to adjust to that, right? Okay, so there's your next thing. It'd be nice to make that one go away from you, because, oh, you got this great system.
But when the bottleneck happens, if you pull the second, it's exactly what Japan does. They've got a U shape and it's going and going and going. When one person gets ahead of the others, they go down to the end and not miss the contract. They never have the full stop, the flow is always going. It never bottlenecks
Okay.
with one person.
Okay, biggest issue.
Just the huge amount of product we need to make,
Okay, so here's what I've done to help you. I've cut off all new products now. People are bringing me.
Oh, I'm not talking about design. I was talking about for injection molding.
biggest issue?
Things are going really well.
Really?
Yeah, I've been helping Zach a little bit when I need to, and helping production when I need to a little bit, and helping and doing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going really well.
Awesome, that's good.
So you should move that 0%, like 0.1, please.
Yeah, he does some production now,
Okay,
so.
good, yeah, there we go.
I'll
Okay.
send out.
What's the biggest issue? Okay. What's the biggest issue, Brady?
Go to the end and said just customer service training. Dealing, people are just one giant variation, so. People don't necessarily have all the tools to deal with the variation that comes at them every day.
Or they have the tools and they aren't using them, and we need to push them to use them.
And I would say that through customer service, having done it a fair amount, that, 80% of the calls are pretty predictable and pretty obvious what they're gonna ask. And then just make sure that how are we addressing making it so they don't even have to make that phone call? What systems are we doing to remove that variation?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
and
that-
specifically for Brady, some of the things that they go, Brady, what about this, what about this? The information is at their fingertips, they just choose to ask him instead of going and looking it up, so that they'll remember it themselves. And he's pushing them to do that. Go, where would you find that, he says, so he makes them go look for it instead of just giving them the answer.
Okay. Anything else? What's the lesson?
Variation. Having a
Come up
system
with
with fixed variations.
Increasing the
Having a system
value,
with fixed variations.
Having a system to fix variations,
increasing the value by getting rid of variation.
increasing the value by getting rid of variation. It's good work.